Hi guys, how you all doing? Thanks for joining me today. My last stream from Bangkok. I wasn't going to do one actually, and somebody let me down this evening for a dinner get together, and I thought, what shall I do? And I've been changing listings all day on YouTube, trying to get them more searchable, my videos more searchable, and it got to about 5:45, and I thought, you know what, I'll do a live stream. So I'm just going to do the one tonight, just a very casual one like this, and 72 in. I'm surprised at that already because was only announced just kind of 30 minutes ago or so, but I should be streaming on 3 platforms right now: Facebook, Kicks, and YouTube. So we'll see how that goes. Right. Okay. So who's in? We've got Uncle Willie B. How you doing? I always get this one wrong. Let me put it up there. How you doing? Okay. It's Rennie, right? It's just funny the way it's written there. Anders, how you doing, mate? Don't get too excited now. Okay. Paul, how you doing? Paul Hoskins. Crypto Chris, how you doing? I don't think Damon's going to be in tonight because he doesn't even know I'm doing this. And I don't think Franco will be in either. So anyway, no worries. I've even forgot to do the what do you call it? The currencies tonight. Right. Okay. Okay. Darren, how you doing? Greetings from SU. Now, where's SU? SU, where's that? Christopher, good morning. I've lost you. Chris, good morning, Peter. I hope you're well and hope you had a good weekend. Max, how you doing? Hi, Peter, and best wishes for the move. Thank you, guys. Everybody wishing me good. I've had a bit of bad luck. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you about it in 10 minutes. Let's get a few more people in. Nothing to do with the house. That's all gone well. But look, hang on, it's there. You see that? So remember, I'll tell you now. Do you remember I had one of these cancer lumps come up here and I had it cut out successfully? It's not spreadable. You get it from the sun. It's like less than 1% chance. Okay, so they fixed that one. They sorted it out. Then another one come up here a week later. Sorry, that side a week later. I had that burnt out. Okay, I've just got the fine one done. I'm going to get the stitches out of this one. So that's 3, right? And I woke up yesterday morning and I've got this, and I'm pretty sure that's another one because it looks very similar to the one on the other side. So what I'm going to do, I've got an appointment to get the stitches out tomorrow, and I'm going to tell the doctor, just cut it out, stitch it up, and I'll get the stitches removed taken out in Hua Hin. A bloody nuisance, you know. It's spending money, and it's like when they put the needle into your face, that's the most painful part. There's no pain after that. But it's just, you know, I've just really got to watch the sun now. People always said, you know, put sunscreen on, cover yourself up. The sun's dangerous. And I was just blasé. I thought, I'll be all right. And there you go. Good warning for you. You know, when you come to Thailand, wear a big floppy hat or put sunscreen on. I bought myself a helmet for the scooter that's got a wraparound tinted shade now. I used to go out with an open face helmet, no sunscreen. I'd be 2 hours on the scooter going from Bangkok to Bang Saray and Rayong and all sorts. So, yeah, it pissed me off a little bit, to be honest. Right, Darren. I can't pronounce that name. I'll just put it up. Con, I think it is. You're on Facebook there. Good to see you in the stream. It's nice when people do comment from Facebook because I do know that I'm showing on there. But there's another platform called Kick, and a lot of the YouTubers are using that now because you can get away with a lot more. So I'm kind of testing it, but I've just had somebody in like trying to hard sell me. That's the problem. I can't ban him. I don't know how to do it on here. And he's like, do you want more views? Do you want this? And do you want that? And I'll just go into Kick later and ban him. Paul, will you have a hot tub in Hua Hin? We haven't got one of those houses, Paul. We don't have a big house. And we don't even have a swimming pool. In fact, we don't even have a gated community. We're just on a regular soy, you know, with a bunch of Thai people. One of the Farang. A lot of names I can't pronounce tonight. Is it Taco? Hi, Peter. Nice surprise. Thank you. Fred West, not the Fred West. Got you on Facebook, Uncle Pete. Nice one, Fred. Thank you. Mazza, how you doing? I'll tell you what, a few of the other YouTubers are on at this time of day, and I thought, hang on, I might be competing with them. I might not get many people in because I know Buzzin' Patty, he's normally on about this time, isn't he? And Nick Dean, NDTV, he's on. He gets a big crowd in, he does. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. We'll keep it going for at least an hour, if not longer. Like I say, last one from Bangkok. Can't believe I've been in this apartment 3 years. I moved in October. I was 62. I'm now 65. So it's just over 3 years. And the only time I went back to the UK was to sell my house in February. The first year I was here. So yeah, 3 years in this apartment. I've got a load of boxes packed up there. But I've accumulated so much stuff. You know, it's a bloody nightmare. Paul, will you visit Soy Cowboy and Nana Plaza Go-Go bars before you go to Hawaii? I doubt it, Paul. It's such a rip-off in them places now. I'm just going to go there and waste money, even if I don't buy ladies' drinks. Bloody prices of a small beer. You're talking 180 baht, 200 baht. I can go over to the Red Lion and get a pint of Tiger for 99 baht. Why would I want to go? And the girls that they have in the go-go clubs now, they don't interest me at all. It's not like kind of 20 years ago. I don't want to say too much because I'm on Facebook as well. I don't know who's watching, but it's a completely different setup now. You wouldn't believe what you see now to what you used to see. I just don't want to waste money. Dutch Buddha, hey Peter, good day. What's the Kick channel name? That's the name of the channel. It's Kick. It's another platform like YouTube, but apparently a lot of other YouTubers are using it now, so I thought I'd give it a go. Mazza, feel for you, Peter. You don't deserve that, mate. I hope you better luck well, I kind of do in a way because I didn't listen to people and I didn't put sunscreen on, but I can tell. I'm no dermatologist, but I can tell just by looking at that. A friend of mine says, no, it's not. It's just a bite from something, but it is, and it's definitely a cancer cell. So I might as well. The doctor I go to is really good, Christian Hospital, Ceylon. Less than 10,000 baht. I was quoted 68,000 at another hospital. So I'll just get it cut out tomorrow. Done and dusted. I don't want to have to go to hospital in Hua Hin and get the stitches out, but that's easy, isn't it? Fitzy, sorry to hear about the skin issues. I got sunburn on my trip this time. I just arrived back in Australia this morning. I think we've all been sunburnt. That's not really an issue, but when you start getting cancer spots coming up on your face, it starts to get a bit worrying. But like I say, the doctor reassured me. He kept saying, look, you don't need to worry about it. It's not cancer that spreads through your body. It's not that kind of cancer. He says I forget the name of them. He said, but they just come from the sun if you don't protect yourself. And we just cut them out. I mean, there was one guy online a few weeks ago. He reckoned he'd had 22 of the bloody things. So I don't get any more. Could it be 1794? Good evening, sir. How are you? And then we've got John Quell. Wow. On the spur live stream bonus. Okay, yeah. Well, it's only because it's my last Sunday here, and I'm on my own. As I say, somebody let me down tonight, and I had two choices. I could either go out to the pub and have a few beers, or I could do a little bit of a live stream. And I thought, why not? Last one, because I'm scheduled to do one next Sunday, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it next Sunday because we move on the Saturday. By the time we get down to Hua Hin and get all the boxes out and that, it's going to be nighttime, and then the following day I've got to go and pick up my scooter from the shop that's bringing it down here. I've found a company who they'll pick up your motorbike and take it anywhere in Thailand, and they're quite cheap as well. Anders, they talk about changing retirement age to 67 here. That means you are still young, Peter. Thank you very much, Anders. I'm actually due for my pension June of next year, but because I didn't pay in all, you've got to pay to get a full pension. You get about £900 a month. It's pathetic in the UK compared to like the States and other European countries. But I haven't paid in all my life. And I recently topped it up. I sent in about £1,200 last year because I could pay for 7 missed years. That's all I could pay for. So I'm due to get about £198 a week, which is peanuts, really, isn't it? What's that in baht? What we say, 98 times 4. That's going to be that's not right. Hang on. What do we say? 198, wasn't it? 198 times 4. So that's £792 a month. The baht is 43 at the moment. They're giving 42 and a half, 43. Let's give them the benefit and say 43. So 43. See, that's 34,000 baht a month. I mean, I couldn't live out here on that. That's peanuts. I mean, you could, but you'd be surviving. But what I've learned is with the triple lock and all the rest of it, if I leave it till I'm 70, another 3 years, I'll end up getting about 42,000 baht. And that's starting to get a bit better, isn't it? So, yeah. If Starmer and Rachel Reeves had their ways, they'd just like cancel it, wouldn't they? They already took the winter fuel bill from the old people, terrible. Okay, Kevin, cheers, 3 years and plenty of beers. Yeah, I think I mentioned this last time. I've put weight on again, and I'm on one of those weight loss guns. And what it is, I'm hardly eating. I went for a roast today with, I know a guy called Thomas who's here. We're quite close friends now. We do a lot of stuff together. And, I thought I haven't had a roast for like 6 months. And I thought, I'll have a roast. They're pretty good here. And it comes out and it's huge, and I thought, I looked at it. I had the peas. I think I had 2 roast potatoes. I had half the meat. And I just couldn't. My stomach capacity's not there anymore, because of these injections. But what it is, I'm drinking beer every day, and that's, when you're on beer, one large bottle of Chang, for instance, is about 336 calories. So sometimes I have 3-4 pints over there. So you work out the calories. It's lethal. All right. So hi, if you've just joined us, a bit of an unexpected stream tonight. Dutch Buddha, what is the name of your channel? Not Thailand Bound. Whereabouts, Dutch? You mean on it is on Facebook, it's Thailand Bound, and on Kicks, it's also Thailand Bound. But I think I've had to write it in a different way. Like it's all small fonts and Thailand Bound with no hyphen in the middle. Rosie B. Peter, you got to get an ivermectin cream that will help this. There's for okay. Let me put this up. I'll read this one seriously now. Oh, where are we? Okay, right. You've got to get an ivermectin cream that will help this. They're on for, that's the name of it. Yeah, the doctor told me. Rosia, I can't pronounce it. That helped a lot of PPL with those spots. They didn't even have to make the surgical with the cream. Oh, that's interesting. Let me take a picture of your comment, and I can ask the doctor about that tomorrow. That might be a good bit of information, because I should be able to go back and see these comments, but just in case. There we are. Got you. So I'll ask him tomorrow. Thanks for the advice. Actually, the surgical work that they do to get them out, it's not actually the most painful part of it is the injection. It's a very simple procedure. I mean, I'll go in, lay down, he puts a cloth on my face with a hole. Right. I suppose some people have really bad breath or something. I don't know why they do that. And then, they inject it, which is, that's horrible when the needle goes in. That only lasts a few seconds. Then they leave it for 5 minutes. And he'll come in and you don't know what they're doing because you can't feel it. And he just says, let me know if you feel any pain. And, he'll cut the scalpel, and quite a big piece he took out of this side, about 5 stitches, and then he stitches it up. And, before you know it, it's like 15 minutes, it's done, But yeah, I'll try and get some of that. Does that actually, Rosie, does that actually get rid of them, or does it stop them coming back? What does it do? Nothing more painful than a sunburned head. I've still got hair, Paul, so I don't get it sunburnt. The worst sunburn I've ever had. I was in Singapore. I had a job in Singapore. This is years and years ago, and I was with my Korean wife, and we used to have a pool on the top of the apartment building or the hotel where I was working. I can't remember where it was, so long ago. But I said to her, it was a Sunday. I said, "Oh, let's go up to the pool." And I was laying with my swimming trunks on, no suntan lotion. I was laying out there in the sun, and you don't feel it when it's happening. It's afterwards. And I came down, and my body was in so much pain. I'd burnt myself badly. And, I was like a lobster, but the pain was so intense. I was slapping the wall. It was a horrible, horrible situation. It can be very painful. It's dangerous as well. Ryan, how you doing? Ryan Seeger and Robin, is it? Rob the Don. Mate, I've appreciated your stories. Don't take this. I'm going to get insulted now, right? I can tell before I even read it. Don't take this the wrong way, but I listen to them in the early mornings as I'm trying to sleep. Appreciate you working straight. Okay, I thought you were going to have a go at me there. I had a couple of people moaning because normally I release the stories first thing in the morning, about 9 a.m. here. I prepare them a week in advance, and when I wake up, normally 8:30, something like that, I wake up, turn my phone, and I release the stories, okay, Saturday morning. And there's a lot of people got used to that routine. But, I put a question into ChatGPT. I said, I live in Thailand full time. I'm a YouTuber. I release stories every Saturday. Is there a time in the day which is the best time for me to release videos? And it came back and it said, yeah, between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Thai time, because apparently it catches a lunchtime crowd in the UK. It catches the Europeans. It catches some of America in the morning, early morning, and some of Australia in the evening. It kind of suits a lot of people, So the story videos, I'm going to release them every about between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. my time. But of course, the clocks went forward in the UK yesterday, didn't they? 7 hours difference now. Okay, that's a good question. Aaron says, Peter, aren't you concerned that in a few months you could find yourself bored to death in Hua Hin? No, not at all. Not at all. I love it down there. And I'll tell you why. I've been down at least 20 times. And every time I come back to Bangkok, I don't want to come back, right? I lived there for a month, before COVID. I taught myself everything I do online. I've taught myself. I either look at YouTube videos, like the green screen, for instance. If you don't know how to do it, you've got to learn how to do it, right? And I wanted to learn to use some software called WordPress to make websites. I used to make a few websites, and I wanted them to look really good. So I thought I can't multitask. When I work, I've got to have total silence around me, and I can't have phones going or people chatting in the background. I just can't function. Okay. I'm one of those people. I just have to have focus on one thing. And I thought, well, I was coming out to Bangkok, and I thought I'll spend a month in Hua Hin just to, check it out. And I can, every day in the hotel room, I can work. And in the evening. And the thing is, don't forget, I'm not going down there on my own. There's a few things that are different. Firstly, I'm going to be living in a house with a garden. Okay. So it's not like I'm cooped up in an apartment. I can't do anything. I'm going to get myself at least one, maybe two dogs. Okay. So that takes time, doesn't it? Looking after them, hosing them down with a hose pipe, all the rest of it. Two, I'm 66 next year. I'm no longer into the nightlife. I don't go to go-go bars. I don't go to, I don't do late nights. Generally, if I go out and have a drink, I'll go out and I have dinner or a few drinks with a friend at 6 o'clock. I'm back home by 8:30, 9 p.m. And I just, that's me now. So no, I don't think I'm going to get bored, because one, I've got full-time company, you know what I mean, right? Two, I've got we're living in a beautiful house on a nice street with a garden, dogs, and there's plenty of restaurants, plenty of bars down there. If you do fancy going out, there's two fantastic malls. If you're a monger, it's definitely not for you, Hua Hin. But no, not at all, Aaron. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And don't forget, at the end of the day, I've got a car, right? It's not like once I leave Bangkok, they're going to put a wire fence around it and I can't get back in. If we want to come up for the weekend, or I want to spend a week up here, I mean, hotels are dirt cheap, aren't they? Be it Airbnb, how much are you talking about for a week, especially in low season? It's high season now coming up. But no, not at all. Not at all. We nearly thought about Chatham, which is 30 minutes away. Because it's cheap there, but it's just too quiet. It's Chatham's a beautiful little seaside town. It's 30 miles north of Hua Hin, but I would have definitely got bored there. And there's a lot of expats in Hua Hin. I was sitting in the Banpur, I forget the last name, it's 3 words, Banpur. It's like a night market where they play the music and stuff. And a guy come up to me and he says, look, I've been living here for years. This is my Thai wife. I live in a nice villa, pool. We have barbecues. Australian guy, nice guy. And he says, look, when you get settled down, give me a call. You can come over to the barbecues. Johnny, there's something happening. He's a bigger YouTuber down there. He goes there, so I'm sure we're going to make friends very easy. And people recognize me when I'm out and about. So, it's easy for me to kind of get introduced to people rather than just, go down there as if I was on my own and I didn't know anybody. Plus a couple of my friends that I've become friendly with, subscribers here who live in Bangkok, they've also decided to move in. One's decided to go down. He's got a small place here that he pays 8,000 baht a month for. And he's got a nice place down there, which he pays about 10,000. He spends half his time here and half down there because he can work on a laptop. And I got another friend who's renting here for 32,000 a month. He's got a small two-bedroom apartment, but for 30,000 a month down there, he's got a villa with his own private swimming pool. So, I don't think so. Just say hi to Klaus on Facebook there. One question: how do you arrange your health insurance in Thailand or pay for each visit? I do what they call self-insurance, Klaus. I don't have insurance. The reason being, I tried to get insurance for 2 years. I talked to a lot of insurance companies. The one I nearly went with was Pacific Cross, because they pay out no questions asked. They deal directly with the hospital. Okay, I'm not getting any kickbacks because I didn't go with them. So they offered me insurance, but I refused it, because they wouldn't insure me for a heart attack or a stroke. And they're the main things I wanted insurance for. So what I've done, I've put 1 million baht, which is about 23,000 pounds, in a separate bank account. So if I had an emergency, I'm not saying that'll last forever, but if I had an emergency, like a heart attack, you're looking at, if you went in and had a heart attack and a stent, for instance, you're looking at about 600,000-700,000 baht. So you do need, I know guys in Pattaya who they're living from month to month. They don't have anything in the bank. And they're just, they're hoping nothing will happen to them. So I self-insure. If you can get insured, there is one company who will insure me, but I'm not 100% convinced with them. Somebody put me onto them. At the moment, apart from these things that have come up, I've been okay, So, yeah, I don't, it is a worry. I'll be honest with you, it's a worry. But then if you worry all the time, it's like, you wouldn't get on an aircraft, would you? You wouldn't come out your front door in the morning in case, a rooftop come off and hit you on the head. So you've got to try and make the most of your life and try not to take too many risks. But okay. I mean, financially, I'm okay. I'm not rich, but if something happened, I can cover it on the short term. That's the long answer to that, Klaus. Martin, how you doing? It's too early. Just woken up. Where are you, Martin? Are you in Vietnam? Are you in the UK? I'm only doing it early because I've got somewhere I should be around 8 o'clock. So I thought I'll do one now. I didn't know if anybody had come in or a few people had come in. We got 169 in now. That's good news. Oh, there's young Damon there. Look, afternoon, Pete. Nice surprise for a stream. I thought you'd be out shopping, Damon. That's why I didn't text you, because normally when I do it later, you're out shopping, you only come into the member stream. But I guess if you're traveling, all that's been done, right? So good to see you in. Adman Drick, is it? Hey, Peter, found your channel about 2 years ago. I have no links to or ever wanted to go to Thailand. Love the stories and considering reactivating my passport. Hope the move goes okay. Well, thank you very much. I often encourage people to send in stories, not just from Thailand. Okay, the channel's called Thailand Bound. But, so the stories can be from anywhere. If they're quirky, they're interesting, some guy got ripped off, or, it can be the guy could have gone to Jamaica. It doesn't matter. I mean, a story's a story, isn't it? Oh, okay, you found it. That's the link there. I want to paste it in and go there now, but I can't copy it from here. Okay, let me see if I'm live. Just give me a minute. I'll go. I want to just type in. So it's kick.com, right? And then / let's have a look. Kick.com Thailand Bound. That's right. I knew there's no hyphen in it. I don't even know how it works. Yeah, it's brought my page up. Yeah, I'm there. Wow. Yeah, and your comments up there, Chris. Okay, I'm just getting rid of this guy who's trying to sell me stuff. Okay, let's shut that down. It's fantastic technology, isn't it? I'm doing one stream and I'm going out on 3 different platforms. I don't know how many people are watching on Facebook. But anyway, it's just, I'm like a little kid in a candy store. It's all new to me. I'm 65, right? But I've just discovered this, how to link this all up, Sometimes I get cheesed off and I just can't be bothered. Connor, how you doing there over there on Facebook? Nice to meet you on Soy 8 yesterday. Oh, that's you? Was it the Connor? I didn't get your name. Yeah, nice to meet you as well. So I'll just tell everybody the story. So I went to the Red Lion, had a couple of beers, and I was coming back home, and I have to access through Soy 8. And as I turn around the corner, this young guy here, Connor, he came running up to me. I thought he was going to lay one on me, actually. He came up to me and he just said, "Are you Peter, Thailand Bound?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" I didn't think he'd follow my channel because he looks quite young. I mean, like, I don't know what his age was, but he looked kind of really young compared to my usual audience. But he said he watches it and he likes it. So, yeah, nice to bump into you. And I hope you have a good time in Thailand. You said you're going to stay here quite a while, right? You'll have a lot of fun. Be careful in Nana and Cowboy, for heaven's sake. It's, it's easy to get ripped off down there now. Peter Anthony Tucker, what age did you retire out there? 62, Peter. I've been living out in Thailand for years on and off. Okay. I used to work for a hotel company called Accor. So I've spent a lot of years traveling the world in food and beverage in mainly 5-star hotels. Okay. And I've always loved Thailand. It's always been my place to go to. And when I went back in the year 2000 with my Korean wife and the 2 kids, save on school fees and stuff, I had a few businesses in the UK, nothing big. But my wife and myself decided to separate on nice terms. We just kind of grown apart. Kids are grown up. And, we're the best of friends, no lawyers involved or anything. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be on my own, there's no way I want to be on my own in England. I didn't have many friends because I'd been away for a long time. I could picture myself in a 1-bedroom flat, 3:30 on a Sunday afternoon, black skies, raining, shivering, nothing on the TV. And I thought, no, that's not for me. And I took the chance and I came out here at 62. It's been 3 years now. I've had most of it's good experiences. Nothing much has gone wrong. You face challenges like you do everywhere you go to. I mean, you come to Thailand. I made a video recently, actually. If you come to Thailand on vacation, on holiday, it's great, isn't it? Like I've said many times, I used to land at 3:30 in the afternoon, straight in a taxi. I'd be in Soi 4 in a hotel by 5 o'clock. You know, it was a quick wash and brush up. I didn't even take a shower, and I was straight down to Big Dogs or Stumble In. Big Dogs has gone now, and you'd have your beer, and it was like, you know, the heat and the girls all coming to work, and you're in that atmosphere, aren't you? Soy 4, and it's like, yeah, you know. But when you live here and it's on your doorstep, you do grow out of it, and you do get into a regular routine like you do in your own country. You know, I've got to go shopping. I've got to pay my bills, my phone bill, my electric, gas. You lead a normal life out here. And now I've got the big move on Saturday down to Hua Hin. Paul, no S&M bars in Hua Hin. Oh, thank God for that. Could be 1794 sunburned, as only British people manage to get it. Yeah, absolutely. Pink. Well, we're not white, we're pink. Hi, Pete. Great to see you're moving to Hua Hin. That's from B33 on. Another name I can't. If you've got a name that I can't pronounce, you're almost guaranteed to have your comment put up on screen. Hi, Peter. I can pronounce Enzo. It's just your username there. Enzo from Melbourne. Sending greetings. I'm coming to Thailand at Christmas for my first time. So excited. Christmas is great. I hope you're going down to Pattaya because they really know how to do Christmas down there. You know, all the girls dress up in little sexy Santa Claus outfits and stuff. And they really put it on strong down there for everybody. A lot of single guys or divorced guys in Pattaya. So they make Christmas a big deal. You can go anywhere for a Christmas lunch. You won't be on your own. You get talking to people. It's a lot of fun. Tony, Pete, what happened to the guy that had a resort during flu and went back to the UK? We spoke about him on the stream last Sunday. You're talking about God, what was his name? Landers Smiles. Landers Smiles, grey beard, tells the stories. I forgot his name. I said it last week. It's gone. I can't. What was his name? Somebody will tell me. But I did mention last week he held out here for as long as he could. I know he went back to the UK, and he used to be a taxi driver. And I think I don't know, it's secondhand information, but I've heard he's in the UK driving a taxi, and his wife's got a job in a hospital. He had a good channel. Right, Big Tins, is it? Hi, Pete. Good to see you again. I just came back from Thailand 2 days ago. I'm back in the UK, getting cold now. Yeah, long winter nights approaching. Martin says the clocks went forward, not backward. That makes sense for 7 hours, doesn't it? Okay, a lot of people telling me about the clocks here. Fitzy, I spent 2 nights in Hua Hin, had good nights in the bars down there. I like it. It's laid back. Somebody left a comment today saying, I listened to YouTubers and I went to Hua Hin. It was the most boring week I ever had. But he's a monger, you know. He goes to Pattaya and he goes bar hopping. So if that's what you do, yeah, Hua Hin's no good for you. Hua Hin's more laid back. It's got everything down there that you want. But there's a lot of guys down there with their Thai wives, Thai girlfriends, and it's more of a more stable kind of environment down there. You know, you haven't got like people coming and going all the time, so much like Pattaya, and you don't have big groups of, I don't want to say, but you know what I'm saying, big groups of who come from certain nations who kind of, you know, let's leave it at that. Okay, Rosie, Peter, it gets rid of them totally. Hope this helps. Okay, great. So I'm going to ask the doctor tomorrow, and then he'll say, yeah, we can prescribe it in the hospital. I'll say, no, it's fine. A top tip, if you're ever in a hospital and you've got to get something done, get the treatment and the consultancy and everything, but tell them not to give you any medicine, just to write down what you need to get, because it's about 25% of the cost of a hospital. You know, I bought, look, see these paracetamols, these, right? These are like 15 to, they used to be 10 baht for a strip. They're like for a headache, right? They might be 20 baht for a strip now, right? The hospital give me 2 of these and they charge me 200 baht. I can go out on the road and I can get these 2 for about 30 baht. You know, it's ridiculous. So if you ever go into a hospital here, make sure you get the medicine yourself from a pharmacy. They sell everything over the counter, most things. Paul, I can't multitask either. It's okay, I'm not putting that out. I'm not reading that out, Paul. Okay, B33 on. Would love some more day-to-day blogging about what you get up to around Hua Hin. Bit of food, you're off. Yeah, that's what I intend to do, because the problem with, look, I'll tell you honestly, I do a lot of videos from my apartment here, because the problem is there's so many YouTubers in Pattaya and Bangkok. Everything's been done to death. In fact, when I do videos about certain things outside in Bangkok, nobody watches them hardly, because you know, they're not interested. You know, I did the wine connection, 2,000 viewings. I did the Indian restaurant, 2,000 viewings. I did the bus down to Pattaya. Okay, that did a little bit better. Put how to get the train from Nana, how to get the train from Nana down to where did I go to? Icon Sion. You know, nobody watched the videos. It's only the videos that do well for me are the videos where where I kind of just sit in front of the camera and talk about something. You know, I've just released a video to members this week called Why Old Men Come to Thailand. Okay, and it's not for the reasons you think. Everybody will be able to see that on Tuesday. But going down to Hoi Hin, something I'm really looking forward to. I've already showed you my house. There'll be another one when we get all this everything inside it. But I want to do, I want to do the hospitals down there. I want to do the malls. I want to do the restaurants because it's cheap, you know, and it's good. But those sort of videos won't be for everybody. I'm not expecting them to do high numbers, because the videos that do good numbers for me are the stories and the videos that are talking to a camera about a certain subject. They do well for me for some reason. But when I go out and I film, I don't know, a mall, I don't get anybody watch it. You know, maybe it's not my crowd. I don't know. And I see other guys on YouTube, you know, they do videos very similar and they're getting like 100,000 views on those videos. I've just actually, I was, you know, some guys get literally millions of hits on a video, right? I've just had one video. I've been doing this 5.5 years, right? And I've got one video from 3 years ago that's just hit 1 million views. Okay. I've got no others, just that one. The nearest one to that, I think, was a Nat and Dave animation. That's done about 735,000 combined because I released it 3 times, right? But that video that's done 1 million views, it's called 20 Things Not to Do in a Go-Go Bar. Of course, everybody's doing the same thing now, but I was one of the first who did it, you know, about 3-4 years ago. And it's done really well, thankfully. Over 200 in here. I wonder how many's in Facebook. There's no way to tell, is there? Richard, Hua Hin is midway place to live. You could drive south to Don Sak and pop over to Koh Samui. Not too bad a journey. I've done a few times. What I like about down there, within half an hour, there's some really nice beaches. And when I say nice beaches, I'm not talking about tourist beaches with you get all the chairs and people selling stuff. That's by the Hilton, that is. But just 20 minutes away, there's some real paradise, you know, really nice beaches. I went to one when I was last down there. That's something I can't do in Bangkok, is go to the beach, right? Paul, what's the difference in baht between Hua Hin and Bangkok for a month? What though, Paul? Accommodation is a lot cheaper, if that's what you mean. Martin, I'm 20, B33 on. I'm 25 and would legitimately retire in Hua Hin right now. Call me an old soul. Fair enough. Hi, Pete. Who's that from? User. That's a long name. Okay, we'll call you User. Robin, how you doing, mate? Hi, Peter and fellow Mongers. Hope you're well, Peter, and looking forward to your Hua Hin adventures. Thank you very much, Robin. If you've just recently come into the stream, I was explaining to everybody, you know, I had this cancer lump cut out of me a few weeks ago. I had another one come up here. They burnt that out, and I've had a third one here. I'm getting the stitches out tomorrow, and I think I've got a fourth one come up here. Right, and I'm going to see if the doctor sort that out tomorrow, and I'll get that cream that Rosie told me about. But thanks for joining me. I'm surprised there's so many people in actually at this time. Martin, you're in Colchester. Okay, nice town, or it used to be. I don't know what it's like now. Dog, once you reach 60, insurances don't want to insure you. Again, with Pacific Cross, if you're thinking about looking for insurance with Pacific Cross, and I'm not getting any kickbacks, okay? I didn't go with them, but I had a lot of conversations with them. They have an office here in Bangkok, and you deal with Australians, okay? They'll insure you up to any age. If you get on with them before you're 65, you don't even need a medical, but you need to list out all your ailments, pre-existing conditions, which I did, because if you don't, they'll find out, because all the hospitals and clinics are linked and stuff. And if you lie, then you won't get the payout. But the good thing about them is you don't have to pay the hospital, and then the hospital pays you. And I've spoken to several hospitals around Bangkok, and I've asked them, which insurance company does your hospital prefer to deal with? And they all say Pacific Cross, because they don't mess about. You know, they just ring up, give the number. And Pacific, they're hard to get insured with, fully insured with. They're very difficult. But once you get insured with them, they're very, very good, apparently. Well, not apparently, they are. I mean, I know what they do. But I'm over 65 now, so I've kind of just give up on it now. Thank you, Daskop. I can't pronounce that name. So guaranteed up on screen. There you go. Uncle Nene, how you doing? Okay, User. Hi, Pete. You mentioned about your UK pension. Be careful about getting the triple lock, as once you're abroad, I don't think you can get it. I don't want to get into too much detail about that, but let's just say I've got an address in the UK, okay? And I've still got things going on there. I still pay UK tax for some bits and pieces. I'll just leave it at that. You read between the lines, okay? Beautiful girls in Colchester, says Paul. Robin again, maybe late to the party here, but anyone know about the mourning period of the Queen? Rest in peace. Here in some of the entertainment areas like Soy 11, Nana Cabo might go dark for a few weeks. I don't know. I bought alcohol from 7-Eleven today. There was no restrictions. I hope I pronounce it properly. Yeah, Queen Sirikit passed away yesterday. She was very well loved by the Thai people. And yeah, it was a big deal for them. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Message from Martin to Paul there. Put that on the screen. Sean, Seamus just arrived in Bangkok. Welcome, Seamus. Hope you're going to have a good time. Thank you, Adrian Baker. Put that up. Paul, intend to do that, mate. Okay, URL Droid Superbot. What's happening to your time in afternoon story and early 3 p.m. Gulf time for the live stream? So I've already explained that. You've obviously just come into the stream, but very, very quickly, if I put the stream out if I put the video out between 8 and 9, this is a one-off time because I'm moving Saturday. I can't do a stream next week where I'm scheduled, and I've got somewhere I've got to be at 8 o'clock. So I thought I'd do an early one today. So that's that one explained. It's just a one-off, or I've got to be done by 8 latest. And the stories, I'm releasing them my time, Thai time, between 8 o'clock and 9 p.m. now. So you're 7 hours behind because that's when they'll get the most views, according to ChatGPT. I used to release them in the morning. Anders, have you seen any K-pop fans last few days? Blackpink is in town all weekend doing concerts at the National Stadium. Yeah, loads, because I do an hour's walk in Benji Park each night, and you see them in cosplay. And I sent a video to my daughter because my daughter's got an account on TikTok because she's big into cosplay. You know, she dyes her own wigs, and you know, she goes to Norway for these cosplay. She's got 4,000 followers on TikTok. My youngest daughter, and she goes to these conventions in Norway. I don't know why Norway, but she's really, you know, she's got a lot of followers. She's big into it. Cosplay is a big deal, you know. It's like the Star Trek. Remember the Trekkies? They'd have big meetups. It's kind of similar to that. And yeah, I've noticed them in the past. I didn't know there was something going on, but I did notice them yesterday. Okay, somebody on K there. Sawadi, mate, Sabadi. Nice to see you on Kick. Thank you. I haven't had too many comments off Kick because I've just started using it, but nice to see that somebody's actually seen me there. Do you have to go to England to prove you are alive for a pension like proof? No, you just do it all online. You know, you've got to have a UK address, obviously. No, I don't think you do have to have a UK address. No, you don't, because that's what I was worried about. Would I have to fly back and go in a hotel and all that? You don't. You just do it online. They know, you know, because you give them your national insurance date. I don't know what they do about, you know, because some people die, don't they? And they've got to have some way of knowing, because if they keep paying it, like a relative could keep the money, couldn't they? I don't know. Honestly, I'll ask ChatGPT afterwards because it's a good question, actually. Richard, how you doing? Also on Kick. Dog, I will do the same when I retire. Europe is so boring and sad. No wonder people are losing their minds over there. Yeah, and you know what? The thing is, in Thailand, if you come out here as a monger and you're going to Nana Plaza every night, or you spend your days in Pattaya, it is expensive. That's where all your money goes. But if you live frugally, you know, if you're quite content to just be in Thailand and say, right, okay, I'm going to cook a lot of my own food. I'm going to eat in Thai restaurants, you know, the cheaper end. If I want Western food, I'll be very selective, you know, and you haven't got any bad habits. You can live out here cheap, but you do have to think about emergencies like health insurance, emergencies if you have to get a flight ticket home, something like that. If you have an accident, you know, I mean, you just got to think about everything. It's, you know, like I say, my biggest worry really is the health, you know, and when I get shit like this happen, you know, because it takes up time and it's another 10,000 baht, isn't it? You know, I think I've spent about 25,000 baht on them all so far, which is about 600 quid. Richard, any word on Eddie? I haven't heard anything from anybody, him, any of his friends, Nick Dean, nobody, nothing. No. Okay. What's your first name there? Is it? I can't see what your first name is. See you in Hua Hin. Kayak is ready and waiting. Okay. I think, are you the guy who's got a bar off 94? I remember meeting somebody told me there. I couldn't actually make it because we were coming back the next day. Brian, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you in the stream. Morning, mate. Correct. From a dreary flat, dull weather in Swindon, UK. So that's what I was saying, Brian. I didn't, no offense to you, but I didn't want to be in that position, you know. Who's that then? No. Ricardo, hi Pete. Are there any alcohol bans planned due to the death of the Queen surrogate on Friday? I bought alcohol today. So I don't think so. No, they generally only have alcohol bans when it's a kind of religious holiday, like a Buddhist day, something like that. Toby Price, we are not pink up in Scotland. We are blue. Do you know, there was a Scottish, I don't know if they're really Scottish, I suppose. I think they are actually. One of my favorite shows. I've watched it twice. It's a series. It's called Still Game. There's like two pensioners. They had another series called Chewing the Fat, but I didn't quite like that as much. But Still Game was hilarious. You know, the characters in there were very clever. I don't know if you ever seen Still Game, but they had a Nosy Parker, a woman, forget her name, but she was great. They had Naveed, the shopkeeper, typical, and I like the guy with the leg, you know, with the dodgy leg. If you'll know who I'm talking about if you've watched it. When the bookie stole his money and he came back and Stevie the bookie, that was it. And he says, you know, you are Stevie. And he's like, no, I'm his brother. Really excellent show. I found the end episode where they all faded away. It was very sad, actually. Roland Bot, how you doing? Dog again. Joachim has beautiful caves to visit, natural parks, beaches, etc. I planned a trip over there to see these things. Do you know they want to extend the airport down there because they only do one flight for, well, I'll reword that. They only do flights from Chiang Mai to Hua Hin because they've got nowhere to park the aeroplanes. It's quite small, but they want to extend it and open it up because they want to bring more people in. Okay, any word on P. Joe? I don't even know who that is. Rick, hi Pete. Any idea if Farang should plan to wear black to respect a Thai culture during the 90-day mourning? No, I don't think that's necessary at all. Do the Thais wear black? I mean, I don't know. Where will you swim in Hua Hin? There's a great outdoor pool there. You can pay 50 baht a day. It's just off Soy 94. A Swedish guy runs it. I did a video for him about 3 years ago. And it's a large outdoor pool with sun lounges and all the rest of it. And for 50 baht a day, you can go there and hang out. And they do like fried rice, sandwiches, beers, soft drinks, coffees, tea. They'll give you a towel as well for about 20 baht a day and stuff. So it's not expensive. I can't pronounce your name. Is it Gino? Hey, home, I checked your video. Seems like you are new in Kick, not yet affiliated and verified. Got a proposal for you? No, bye-bye. This is a problem, you know. This is a problem. When you go on a new platform, you get people. I've had messages from people exactly like that who want to sell me stuff, and I'm going to go in and block them all later. I didn't realize, you know, I was going to get so many on here. Because of course I've got mods in the on here, haven't I? Damon and Chris is in. So if people put stuff like this up, then you know I can just delete it, and I can't even delete it from here like I can on YouTube. Anders, I watched all those videos. Okay, good stuff. Rolling Bot, do you think you can find love in Pattaya? No, no. Oh, you mean generally speaking? Oh, I wouldn't try. You know, it's Pattaya, isn't it? What do girls go to Pattaya for? It's not to find love. Hansi, is it Hansi Saga? I think things changed after COVID. Yeah, a lot of things did change. Paul, never. Oh, no, I'm not going to read that out. We should have a moderator just for Paul Hoskins' comments. You know, just a single guy watches everything he puts out. Andy says 5 people on Facebook. Wow. Never know I'd be a superstar. Never mind. Like, you know, what's the old saying? From acorns does oak trees grow. Okay. Right. Reliable witness. When did filming and taking pictures around bars and girls become acceptable? I don't know why you're asking me. I don't do it. Okay, Crypto Chris, Peter, chat is showing usernames, not display names. I think you can change the setting in YouTube. Chat is showing usernames, not display names. Okay, I don't know how to do that actually. Let me. How do I copy your? I can't copy these comments. What I'll do, let me put it up, Chris. I'll take a photograph and then afterwards I'll put it into ChatGPT, find out how to do it, another photograph. I mean, it's a silly way to do things, isn't it, like this, but it works. Right, okay, I've got it. I'll have a look after, Chris. Thanks. Anders, the mourning period is 1 year, if that's what you meant. That's a long time, isn't it? Ray Ross, hey, Peter, Justin, all the way from Pattaya. Good luck on the move. Thank you, Ray. Paul, will you be sad when you leave the condo for the last time? Yeah, of course, it'll be emotional because when I moved in here, I was in a bad way, wasn't I? I just lost my wife. You know, I wasn't going to see my kids for at least a year if they came to see me. A lot of things have happened to me while I've been here. I spent the first 5 months on my own, and yeah, it's going to be quite emotional. Well, I'm not going to burst out crying, but you know, I've got a lot of memories from here. I've done a lot of live streams from this very spot. I've spent hours and hundreds of hours editing, sitting here editing. You know, I've been out on my balcony drinking cold beer at night, and yeah, you know, I mean, when I've moved in here, it was great. But at the end of the day, you know, it is only 2 rooms. It's 51 square meters, but it is just 2 rooms and a small balcony. You know, I'm really looking forward to living in a house with a garden again, you know, and being able to drive my car every day like I did back home. Hello from Nigel in New Zealand. How you doing, Nigel? Nice to see you in. Martin, Pattaya open a bar in Pattaya. Okay, good luck with that. It's just what Pattaya needs, isn't it? Another bar. If you die in the UK, your national insurance number is flagged up and money stopped. But how do they? This is what I'm asking. How do they know you've died? Like if I'm living here in Thailand and I die, which I will one day, obviously, how will they know I've died? You know, Franco, there he is. You don't call me anymore, Franco. He's got all his new mates down there in Pattaya. He blanks me now. Toby Price, my mum and dad live down in Hua Hin. Life down there is chilled and nice. Yeah. A lot of nice people down there, different crowd. Hey, Peter, can you give me the name of the health insurance company again, please? Good luck in lovely Hua Hin. It's, I think it's called Pacific, like the ocean, Pacific Cross. I think that's what they're called. Paul, are they all on your face, Peter, the cancer spots? Yeah, I haven't got any anywhere else, Paul. They just they sort out one and another one comes up, you know, bloody annoying. Elton Musk Dodge found hundreds of pensioners still being paid at 150 years old. Oh, really? Kurt, hello, Peter. How are you? I'm fine, thank you, Kurt. Hospital tomorrow. More trouble. Looking for some questions here. Right, Fitzy, my taxi driver was wearing black and she said that they will do it for 1 month. Okay, fair enough. Anders, the Thais definitely do wear black or white, apparently. Okay, but they don't expect us to, you know, nobody's going to look down. I mean, if you go out in your normal clothes, none of the Thais are going to look at you like, you know, he's disrespectful or anything like that. I mean, let's face it, there's people, they come off the aircraft today and they haven't got a clue. You know, they're not, you know, they're just coming to Thailand on holiday. They land, they get into the hotel. They're all excited. Let's go for it. They don't know that she's died, right? Stephen says, still heavy rain in Phuket. We've been very dry in Bangkok for the last few days. Last week, actually, it's been great. There's nothing worse when, you know, I work all day on the laptop and I need to get out the apartment, you know, and I like to go to Benji's Kitty Park for an hour at 5. So I'll go and do a walk for an hour in my wife's beating vest, right? And then I'll go round to one of the local bars and I'll have a couple of pints of Tiger or something similar. And it's really nice. But when it's, you know, the problem is when it starts to rain at 5, it's like, oh, I'm trapped. Okay. Yeah, that is very true. Taco, is it? Hi, Peter. Priorities change when you are over 60, so your move makes sense. Yeah. Oh, it does. You slow down as well. I mean, I still think like I did when I was younger, but I'm definitely noticing, you know, if I bend down to pick something from under the table, you know, I need 2 hands and a bit of time to get up. I can't just spring up like I used to. Okay, death certificate in the UK is linked to HMRC. But again, if I just died, Martin, here today, how would they know? How would they know? Alibaba, yeah, they're not everywhere. They're at the base of the mountain. There are probably other places as well, but the monks down there feed them. I've seen them feeding them. Rick, good afternoon from Tong Law mongers have ruined my neighborhood. Fear they will drive down property prices. Oh, well, you've had it your own way for a while, so never mind. URL Superbot again. In India, one has to physically visit the bank or post office once a year, I think. Yeah, I would have thought that's what you had to do. I would have thought you would have at least had to go online and because they can do face recognition now. There's no actually when you think about it, to the person who said, "Do you have to go back to the UK and apply in person?" They can do face recognition, right? So they'll probably, if they wanted to know 100%, what they'll probably do is just get you to look into a camera. And what did I had the bank do it the other day. I had to look at the camera and there was like an egg shape, you know, my face in it. And I had to turn my head slowly to the left, slowly to the right, and then they confirmed it. Okay, online app with OTP, etc., has also been created in India. Okay. Right, if you've got something you want to ask me, this is the perfect time because this has never happened before. I've actually come to the end of the chat, the last comment. What should we do now? Okay, Anders. Peter, the Thais would look into your. The Thais would look into your. Let's have a look. The Thais would look into your identity and then contact the embassy, and that way they would know you died, but it could take weeks. That's okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Of course, the Thais are going to contact the embassy, right, and say what's the arrangements. They'd have to. Bloody nose is all itchy again. Okay, the kick comments I've got to read before I put them up because a lot of people on there trying to sell me stuff. Okay, so Makul, is it? Patty Joe, a YouTuber in Thailand, aka P Joe, went back home for radiation treatment. Oh wow. You know, a lot of people say to me as well, "Oh well, if you're out of the UK for 2 years, you can't use the NHS." But you know what it's like in the UK. If you've got an illness, they're not going to turn you away. You know, if you've got something bad you need sorting out. I mean, they sort anybody out in the UK these days. It's just good luck trying to get an appointment, isn't it? But if you had a medical emergency, they're not going to just say, "Well, you haven't been home for 2 years, so we're not going to treat you." McCall again, Pat. Oh, okay, that's the one I just read. Greg on Facebook there. Hi, Pete. Did you remarry again? I like to retire, but don't like the marriage idea again. No, I haven't. I haven't married again, and I'm not going to get married again. There's no point in getting married again. Even with the right woman, there's no reason to get married again. You know, it's just all unnecessary expense and BS at the end of the day, isn't it? Right, Rick MB. When I moved to Tonglor 7 years ago, it was upper class area. No, now it's almost like Nana. Yeah, Tonglor's, you know, it's quite a happening place, isn't there? The reason a lot of people who go there who don't really like the Nana scene is because they have some very good clubs there and bars, and there's even there's an English pub up there called the I forget the name of it. My friend goes there. Okay, just reading Damon's comment there. Right. Okay, Lance Link. Thai government advises the British Embassy. Okay. UK, Toby says the UK pension, the pension in the UK is peanuts. It is peanuts, but it's better than nothing, isn't it? You know, you get old in Thailand. If you haven't got any family to look after, you're out on the street on Sukhumvit with a begging bowl. Uncle Nene, are you going to get digital ID? I don't know. It's out of our hands, isn't it? Martin, will you be flying Benji business class? He's still alive. He's still alive. My daughter still sends videos. He's not coming out here though. Okay, Kev says if the death is reported to the British Embassy, then they will report your death to the UK government, so your pension will stop. Okay, that question has been answered now. I'm trying to work. I've got your username here, but not your name. We spoke about kayaking around Hua Hin. Most know me here as Chippy. Okay. The problem is, right, I meet so many people that I forget because my memory's not very good now anyway. In fact, I was worried about having dementia. So I went to the hospital about 6 months ago and I had a dementia test and I passed it with flying colors. And I said to her, I said, well, how come I've got such a bad memory then? She says, it's just age. She says, you haven't got dementia. You're just getting old, you know. Roland Bott, have you been to the new mall in the Sealam area? There's a couple of new malls in town. I'm not really I don't know. I can't remember because I do go to various malls, but I'm not a mall person. You know, my idea of a day out is not wandering around a mall. I like certain malls that are interesting. My 3 favorite malls in Bangkok. I like the MBK Center because that sells a lot of different stuff. A lot of the malls that you get like on 24 and some of the upmarket malls, they all sell the same bloody thing. You know, they've got a food court in the basement or on the top floor, and then they've got all the kind of, you know, phone shops and Skechers trainers, and you know, they're all the same stuff. But the malls I like are a bit different. You know, MBK, I like that because they do everything. They've got 6 floors, just massive, and there's, you know, you get everything in there, right? I like that mall. I like Fortune Town because that's a YouTuber's paradise, isn't it? It's just full of selfie sticks, lights, computers, laptops, phones. I mean, it used to be in the old days. It used to be Pantit Plaza, but that's gone. I mean, Pantit Plaza is still there. I actually went to look at it a while ago. There's no electronics, hardly anything there now. So I like IT Mall, Fortune Mall rather, not IT Mall. And the other one I like is Terminal 21 because it's not far from me. They've got a few good places to eat. And yeah, I mean, if you're bored for an hour, you can walk around there. They've got a couple of good phone shops on the 6th floor. They've got a nice cinema complex, although I've never been. But yeah, those are my 3 favorite malls. And in Hua Hin, you've got Blueport, which has got a great shopping in the basement, great shopping and some restaurants. And then, of course, Market Village, which is a great mall. Pondo, is there a good beach road in Hua Hin where you can walk or run along the pavement? This is what I like about Jomtien and Pattaya. I would say the best out of the 3 is Jomtien because I like Jomtien. I don't like Pattaya because it's smelly, you know, and you get bothered by people. But what I like about Jomtien, it's got very nice pavement, long. You can walk. That's great. With Hua Hin, it's not got the best beach in the world. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, because you've got the road and then you've got the soys that lead off the main road down to the beach. So it doesn't really have a beachfront walkway like you have in Jomtien, okay? But if I go on my scooter 15, 20 minutes, there's some great places to walk. The thing about the house where I'm living as well, it's not right in the center. It's about 7 miles away from the railway station. If you know Hua Hin, like the Hilton and the railway station, about 7 miles out of town. It's one highway. It takes me 15 minutes. If they do start bringing those flights into Hua Hin and you get the same sort of quality tourists as you do in Pattaya, you know the ones I mean, right? I'm going to be out of it. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking for, somewhere good to walk. The nearest park to me is about 8 miles away, but again, that's 15 minutes on a scooter. I know a guy in Melbourne who he drives 30 minutes to go to his park every morning, so it's not the end of the world. You just got to get on with it. Sean, I wonder if they will cancel Halloween celebrations. I don't think so, Sean, because I walked past a few bars. I went out for a Sunday roast today, and I walked past a few bars, and yeah, I mean they had all the, you know, all the costumes, all the, you know, mannequins all dressed up with silly faces, scary faces. I think with this particular thing, with the Queen's passing on, I think it's more a case of the Thais. They want to do things themselves. They're not being dictated to. People are not saying, well, you can't drink, you've got to wear black, you can't do this, you've got to open the bar. They're not doing that. It's more a case of, you know, she was well loved by the Thai people, and her passing on, Thais will want to do it from themselves. I've seen Thai people out with her picture, mourning her, crying, you know, and I think it's more a case of it's self-governing rather than, you know, somebody higher up saying you must do this or you can't drink or you must attend something. It's not like that at all. Richard, there is a beach near Hua Hin in another town. It's like Pattaya. It has the chair rental and jet skis, but parasailing, nope. I don't know which one that is. But you're not talking about Bang Sarai, are you? Because that's very, very quiet. Bang Sarai. Max, can Can your girlfriend remove your stitches when you no way? I might as well do it myself, and I carving knife. No, you got to get it done properly, because if you don't get it done by qualified doctor, get it done properly. I mean, you can get an infection, right? And that's something else I had as well. I had a few months ago. I mean, I'm really bad luck with the health at the moment. Little things, I had my gums sliced open and a load of infection. I had my sinus and the top of my teeth above my root canal. They had to cut open. It was a proper surgical operation. They knocked me out and they cut the top of my gum open and they had to scrape out all this gunk. And it was great. The pain went. It wasn't a toothache. It was kind of like an infection up here. And about 3 months later, I felt something. So this time he put me on 10 days of special antibiotics. And so far, I've just come off them. It seems to have cleared up. I'm just worried it'll come back, because I was in Pattaya when I first got it and the pain was excruciating. It's horrible. Could it be, I live in Tonglaw. I think 99% of the people would disagree with you, me included. Okay. We're all entitled to our opinion, even me. George, in the US, the Social Security Administration sends out inquiries and you have 10 days to respond, or they cut off your pension. I don't think they do this with everyone, but they do check with some. Okay, just going back to that one on Tonglaw, I don't know where you're getting your numbers from, 99%, because I live here in Thailand. Just because I don't live in Tonglaw, it's a few stops down. I'm in the Nana area, so it's 5 stops or something down to Tonglaw. And I know people who hang out in Tonglaw, including Marley, who used to do the videos with me. So I know she went to some big nightclubs there, and I know from other expats that there's some good bars in Tonglaw. So 99%, I don't know where you get that number from, really, mate. Okay. Right, who's this? Is Pat Pong worth a visit for a lady bar and goggles? I want something different than Nana. Is Pat Pong worth a visit for lady bar and goggles? If you've never been to Pat Pong before, it's worth going to have a look. But they have those silly ping pong shows there. Guys stand outside with cars, and they get you upstairs, and you have a drink, and 2 big guys won't let you out until you pay a massive bill. That doesn't always happen. It's had its day. I think it's had its day. They're not putting any money into it now. There's still bars open down there, but it's, believe me, Nana Plaza is much. I think it's much more fun than Pat Pong. If you haven't been there, go down and have a look. But it's not somewhere I'd go out to if I was going out to. The only time I went there was my friend Simon. He lives at Bangkok, so if we wanted to meet up and have a night out, that was kind of nearer to him. So he wouldn't have to come all the way over here. I would take the BTS to Siam, change at Siam, go down to Saladang, which is Ceylon Road, and then I'm in Pat Pong, and I'd meet him there. So it was kind of convenient for both of us. But there was only about 3 bars down there that I actually liked. The Pink Panther's still good. That's the one where they, they have Thai boxing. You've got all these girls on these poles, and at certain times of the night, they turn it into a boxing ring, and 2 guys are kicking the daylights out of each other. Okay, Roland Bot. If you see a new YouTuber around in the area in Thailand, and from what you see, they have no idea about the differences in culture and their really bad newbie decisions, would you try and help them? I don't think I'd get involved, to be honest with you, because most people who act like that, YouTubers who act like that, they're just arrogant, aren't they? And they think they know everything. I'm not perfect, but I try and be respectful. Like when I do my walking videos, I haven't done any for a while. I want to go get some of them in Hua Hin, where B-roll for when I tell the stories. So if I go out and I've got a little camera and I've got it here and I'm walking down Sukhumvit and some foreigner's walking towards me, and he's got a look on his face like he doesn't want me to point the camera, I'll just slowly point it up at some buildings. He'll pass me and I'll go back round again, But, if I go into the reception to film a hotel, I'll do it kind of from a distance. I won't walk up to reception and poke my camera in somebody's face. But a lot of these guys who come out here now, I mean, they're desperate. They're desperate for kind of clicks, right? And I've literally just made in answer to your question, no, I wouldn't, because they wouldn't listen to me, and they'd probably just call me an old fart who thinks he knows everything, okay? And he'd carry on doing it anyway. But I've recently made a video. I haven't released it yet. I don't know when I'm going to release it. It's one of those videos where I've just got background video and I'm just talking. It's like a kind of podcast, right? Because I was watching a video from a young YouTuber out here. He must be about first and only super chat of the night. Who's that? I've got to celebrate. Mark Hanley. Thanks, Mark. That's Marky Mark, right? No picture. Or is that a different Mark? But anyway, only super chat after 1 hour and 7 minutes. So thank you very much. Okay, let me just, I don't want to lose my place here. Okay, I've lost. Oh, I'm way behind on the comments, aren't I? I'm going to have to skip some of these comments, guys. I'm going to be way behind. Hang on. Okay, I think I found where I was. Give me a minute. Okay. I'll start from Skyline. So just on that little story I was telling you there. So this young guy's a YouTuber, and some of them, they do outrageous things to get click. And he was just talking to the camera. And what he basically, I'm not going to give you the whole story because I talk about it in this upcoming video. It's called Why Old Men Come to Thailand. That's what I've called the video. So he's talking to the camera. It could be on TikTok or something like that. And what he actually says, he's about 25, and he obviously makes a bit of money on TikTok and Facebook, and he's able to stay here for a while. Probably goes back to the UK and comes back again, or he does border runs. And he's just basically saying, he says, oh, you know what? The most disgusting thing about Thailand is all the old men you see with 18-year-old girls on their arm. You know, they're 60 and 70 years of age. And that is total BS, you know. And I explain why, and I get into it. And, you know, there's that kid saying that all old men who come to Thailand are disgusted. Watch the video. I've got a lot to say about it, all right? Skyline, hello, Peter from Ireland. Just got back from Thailand after 6 weeks holiday. All I can say is amazing country, amazing people. I'm looking forward to my next holiday back over to Thailand in April. Cheers. Yeah, most people who come, I've only ever met one guy who came here, an American guy came here to Thailand. He didn't like it. He only ever won over all the years. Roland Bot, Terminal 21 is my favorite because cinnamon downstairs. Okay. Kevin, hi Peter, my friend, lived in Thailand and Philippines for 30 years, got cancer, came back to England, got treated, no problem. There you go. See, people try to put me off. They'll say, oh no, if you get something, you're going to be stuck because you've been here 3 years, and you go back and the NHS will fob you off. They won't want to sort you out. But that's just not true. I mean, on paper it is, but it's in reality, of course, they'll sort you out. Okay, starters. Where's the best place in Thailand for a wheelchair? That's a really difficult question. They're starting to get better here now, but the pavements are so bad, you know. I can't give you an answer to that. You know, maybe you could put it into Chat GPT. Certainly not Sukhumvit, you know, Bangkok. Sometimes you can't even walk on the pavement. It's not, you know, because there's so many stalls and people selling things illegally. You know, it's a tough one. Richard, hey, Peter, happy to catch a live stream. I just touched down in Bangkok a few hours ago. Haha. Oh, brilliant. Okay, you'll have a good time. Roland Bot, to ride a moped legally in Thailand, you need to do a motorbike test, right? Do you also need insurance if hiring the bike to avoid the police check? No. Okay. So you're talking about a scooter, really, not a moped. If you hire one, they're going to be 125 or 160. You can't hire a moped, which is 50cc here. But I'm sure you mean a scooter. So if you've got a motorcycle license in your own country, you get an international driving license, and it's endorsed that you can drive that in your own country. You can simply change that for a driving license here, motorcycle license, okay? You do have to go to the driving test center, and there's a couple of small tests you have to do. One is a reaction test. You know, they put a light on, you got to brake in time. And another is a color test. You got a box with green, amber, and red. The light comes on, you got to press the button. That's it, basically. If you haven't got an international license, you have to do the test that the Thais do. Apparently, it takes 5 hours. As far as the question about insurance and road tax, no, how it works here is the owner of the motorcycle has to have the insurance and the tax on the bike. And the insurance generally covers anybody riding that bike. But, you know, for instance, if you get caught and you've had a beer, they won't pay out because they'll know you've had a beer. Or if you're riding, you're not wearing a helmet and something happens, they won't pay out. But normally when you hire a bike, you don't need to worry about tax and insurance, okay? Just they'll give you, they'll even give you a helmet. Whitaker, how you doing? Yeah, Patty gets a bit tiring with the bar and massage, constantly catcalling. Used to like it when I was young. I actually believed I was a handsome man when they used to tell me that. Are there any Mongrel opportunities in Hoi? There's a couple of streets. Yeah, you got Soy 80, Soy 88, Soy Bintabar, Wonderland. That's a massive complex of bars, but I don't think they got the customers to fill them. Nothing like Pattaya, though. Real deal. Are the two biggest expenses in Thailand drinks and company? No, I think your biggest expenses is going to be your rent. That's going to be your biggest expense. If you entertain the ladies, that's going to be a real big expense, depending on how much you do it, because it's just expensive now. You know, you go into Nana Plaza, bar fine, 1,000 baht upwards. Short time, 4, minimum 4. Gone are the days of 1,500, 2,000. I'm not saying you can't get deals outside, but I'm talking about Nana Plaza, right? Patty is still very good value. But I heard, you know, there's a young guy down in Pattaya called Mac TV, I think it is. You know, sometimes his videos pop up. I don't follow him, but sometimes his videos pop up. And he was saying in one of his videos that now the bars in Soi 6, some of the bars, if you go in and you want one of the pretty ladies earlier, they make you buy a rack of drinks, not a drink, a rack. So there might be 5 drinks, ladies' drinks in a rack, and some of them it's even 2 racks. So, you know, if you want her to keep you company, you need to buy 2 racks of drinks. I mean, that's outrageous, isn't it? Outrageous. You know, I mean, talk about taking the mickey. Okay. Robin, saw an update that they're waiting for the Blackpink concerts to end this weekend before dropping restrictions on booze and nightlife this weekend. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, like I said, I bought some cans of Chang today, and I had no problem with them. Thank you, Peter. Is it Peter or Petter? Look, at the end of the day, you got to remember tourism in Thailand is down about 7%, mainly because the Chinese are not coming in big numbers like they used to. A lot of them are choosing Vietnam these days, and there was a couple of things that scared them, which I won't get into, you know, if you've been watching the news channels. So the tourism's down 6 to 7%. You know, they're doing everything in their power to get more tourists out here. They're doing free flights. They're talking about free internal flights for tourists. You know, they did a longer, instead of doing 30-day stamp, they're doing 60-day stamp. You know, so they're really rolling out the red carpet. They want people to stay here. So the last thing they want, they're even, I've heard they're even going to lift the restriction that's been there for years. You know, if you can't buy a beer from 7-Eleven between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. It's ridiculous, right? But that rule was brought in years and years and years ago, and it's never been changed. Well, it's going to be changed, apparently. You can go into 7-Eleven anytime and buy a beer. Well, between 2 and 5. I don't know if it will be at night. So the last thing they want to do, the Thai, you know, the tourism of Thailand, they don't want to put, you know, and Vietnam now is a big competition for Thailand. So the last thing they want to do, they don't want to keep putting up barriers for tourists who say, oh, you know, let's go somewhere else. You know, we've booked a holiday and we can't drink for a week. You know, we can't have any alcohol. What fun is that? Okay, there's people who don't drink at all and they have lots of fun who come in. But I'd say the majority of people who come here, they like to have a beer, right, or a glass of wine or something with their meal. You know, and when you suddenly turn around and say, well, no, it's this or it's that, and there's no drinking for 2 days or there's no drinking for 3 days, it's just going to put people off, isn't it? And they're trying to get people to come on holiday, not to stay away. I mean, I hate it sometimes. You know, I'll come back from lunch, a late lunch, and I'll walk down my street maybe 2:10, and I think, oh, I don't want to come out again today. I'm going to pop in and get some beers. And I go in and the curtain's up. So I have to come home. You know, I like to, when I get in, I like to just put on a pair of shorts, take my shirt off, and very casual. And then what happens is, you know, I have to go back out at 5 o'clock when it's heaving in there because everybody's gone back at 5 o'clock to buy some beers. That would be great if they dropped that rule. Barry, are you going to try the train from Bangkok? Yeah, I'd like to do that, actually. Apparently, it's a good run. I'd like to do a video on it because I've never done it, believe it or not. Okay, Sean says Halloween is on Friday and payday, so I will head to Pattaya to celebrate it. Okay, good stuff, Sean. I'll be packing Friday. My last day in Bangkok is on Friday. The movers come on Saturday morning. My bike goes down to Hua Hin on Friday. The movers come with the truck on Saturday morning. I've got 4 guys who are going to turn up here and pack everything for us. And yeah, I just hope they can get it all in the van because it's a pickup truck with a cover on it. Yeah, I agree with that. It sucks to grow old. Health starts deteriorating. What you need out here in Thailand, if you come out here to live, you really need a good woman to look after you. I mean, a good woman, you know, so that when you start getting a bit feeble, she's there, you know, but very hard to find. All right, Shane says, Soy Cowboy is great. Usually I stay on soy 11. Soy 11 is a good soy now. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of kind of undesirables walking up and down that soy, if you know what I mean. But, you know, Hillary, they've got a Hillary bar down there, does live music. It's very good. Okay, that guy's having a go at me about Tong Law. Robin says, ignore him, Peter. He's never even been to Tong Law. Laugh out loud. It is a happening place, isn't it? It's where, you know, there is a lot of bars and nightclubs and stuff there because I live here. People tell me, you know, 99% would say you're wrong. Okay, Dog says Pat Pong is worth it. Thanks again for that, Mark. Franco, have you sent your new bike to the new house yet? No, because I still use it, Franco. What's happening is the company who are based in Hua Hin are going to come up here on I think I told them the 30th, right? That's a Friday, this Friday. They'll come up with a truck. They wrap it in cling film so it doesn't get scratched, obviously. They bang it in the back of the truck. They take it down to Hua Hin. The guy sells secondhand motorcycles. So I'm going to do a video on that place. And then we'll go down on the first and we'll pick it up on the second. I'll drive over there in my car with somebody, and they'll drive back the bike. The bike. How to test dementia or a CT scan? No, what they do is simple, really. She sits you down, and I had a laugh with her. Actually, I've mentioned this before. I'll tell you the joke at the end. So what happens? You go in there, and she'll say. She says, right, I'm going to ask you 30 questions and I want you to tell me the answers to them. And then one of the questions about number 25, she'll say, right, I'm going to name 3 objects. Okay. Horse, car, clock. And then I'm going to ask you that a bit later. And then she'll ask you 5 or 6 more questions. She'll say, what are the 3 items that I asked you? And I got them right. But they're very simple questions. Like she'll start off and she'll say, what day is it today? How many days in a week? Where will you go after this? You know, just simple questions, and just to make sure you don't give out any, you're not kind of scratching your head. But I wound her up a little bit. I thought I'm going to have a laugh here. So one of the last questions she said to me, 28, 30 questions, she said, and where are we right now? And I said, oh, we're in Lotus supermarket. Just for a second, kept a straight face. She just looked kind of thing. And I said, I'm only joking. And, you know, you can do that here. Well, you couldn't do that with a doctor back home, right? Toby says, I still like Pat Pong, like the old days. I had an interesting walk around there a week or two ago. I put a little video up on, was it Facebook or YouTube? Very sad to see in the daytime because you can really see it's run down now. You know, at night you don't notice it so much, but, you know, they're not pumping any money into it anymore. Very good memories from Pat Pong. You know, it's been going since the 70s, hasn't it? How many decades? I mean, it's secondhand information, but I've heard they're going to knock it all down and just build more, whatever they're going to build there, you know, malls or hotels. Not sure what that refers to, Fitzy. Was that a YouTuber with a name starting with Mr. M, Peter? I forgot what we was talking about. What were we talking about? Another YouTuber. Oh, you're talking about the young guy. The young guy, I think. I didn't get what his name was. He might have been a TikToker, actually, not a YouTuber. That's who you're talking about, isn't it? Okay, so you've been lucky then. You said, I've done 5 overland border runs this year, no issues. I know people have done it twice and been stopped on the 3rd time and nearly refused entry. Several people, actually. It's just the luck of the draw, isn't it, who you deal with? Richard, as far as meeting YouTubers, I met several in my travels. It's like finding your hero and then you end up being disappointed afterwards. You're better off hanging out with the ties. Okay, I kind of half agree with that. So basically, I don't think it's a case of like better off hanging with the ties because there are some really good guys here, like Western guys. You know, I've got friends here who I met out here, and some of them are real nice guys, real down to earth. They pay their way. You know, they're a good laugh, good fun to hang out with, have dinner with, and stuff like that. But as I mentioned in one of my other live streams a few weeks ago, I've been invited several times now to YouTuber get-togethers. You know, they have these. Oh, we're meeting in this bar tonight, then we're going to Nana Plaza. There's one group who don't invite me. I must have upset them. I don't know why. And there's another group who do. But I just don't go because I just don't want to be in that kind of environment with a bunch of other YouTubers. You know, like I said back then, I like meeting viewers and subscribers, like the young guy I met last night on Soy 8. I meet a lot of subscribers. And, you know, I mean, if people are coming out here, they're going to watch YouTube videos. And I'm sure mine pop up from every now and again, right? So, Yeah, I just basically stay away. I do my own thing. Like I say, some of them invite me, some of them don't. I'm sure I've upset some of them. I don't know in particular, but right, let's move on. Right. Alibaba, do you have a sweet tooth? I do, but I don't, because I had diabetes once and my number's down now. So I don't. I used to buy a lot of chocolate bars and stuff. You know, in England, when you're paying for petrol, all the chocolate bars are on your left there normally, aren't they? Or on your right, so that when you're waiting in the queue, you pick a couple of chocolate bars up. I was terrible for that. And the worst thing about those petrol stations, gas stations in the UK, when you do that, the chocolate's always overpriced. You know, the confectionery, it's always overpriced by at least 20% or something, because people know it's an impulse buys. Dog. Okay, you talk to someone else. Okay, have I missed any up here? How long have we been going? Nearly an hour and a half. Okay, well, I've run out of comments, so unless anybody else has got anything else to ask, I might leave it there. What time is it now? 7:30. I think it's time for a beer, isn't it? Well, hang on. I'll go and get a beer now. I'll crack a beer open now, and then hopefully a few more comments. And if a few more comments come in, I can keep it going a while longer, I will. Greg on Facebook, do they carry Ozempic? Pronounced it wrong. There's another one. I'm going to say it wrong, but it's called the Moldavi. You know the one I mean. You can get it here. Yeah, it's expensive. It's about 12,000 baht. Okay, let me just grab a beer. I'm on the Leos. I won't put it up on screen because now it's against the law to do that in Thailand. Drink on air, as it were. But I've got this. They've got this new beer called Leo Supreme, and it's really nice. It's about 54 baht for a big can. I'll hide the label. There we go. Cheers. Oh, first one of the night. No wonder I'm putting weight on. Okay. Macau 33 is at any village store, but they only see Chang, Leo, and Single. You're right about two good Thai wife. Yeah, there's a little store where our house is. There's a little mum and pop shop, just kind of like you come out of the end of our street, turn right, and right there's a little shop, like a kind of poor man's 7-Eleven. And I stopped off and I went in. I just looked at the prices. And I was like, wow, I don't think I'll be shopping here. For a litre of whiskey, it comes in a black box. I think it's called 295. In 7-Eleven, for a litre, it costs 370 baht. He's selling it over there for 470 baht. Everything's about 20% higher because he obviously buys it from 7-Eleven and himself, or a wholesaler, and he's not affiliated with any chains or anything. I suppose if you're desperate for a beer, then you'd buy one, wouldn't you? I think Damien's got a little shop up in his village, or his missus has. Okay, Real Deal says Vietnam sells alcohol 24/7 from the supermarket. Okay. Cliff, hi Peter. I'm spending a few weeks in Hua Hin over December and January, exploring the area and looking at properties initially to rent in retirement. Can you suggest a good agency, please? The problem with the agents, I can't really suggest a good one because they're all the same. They're like, I'll call you back in half an hour, and they call you back at 7 o'clock at night. They'll call you back in an hour, and they'll call you after 3 days. It's you who has to chase them. They're all kind of the same kind of caliber. But what I'd do is just go on to, if you use ChatGPT, just go onto there and ask the question like you've just asked me, and they'll bring a load of names up. Who did we buy our house from? Did we use an agent to get that one? Just trying to think now. Because they got the Jurassic there. We bought directly from them, I think. I think we've seen an advert on Facebook about these properties where the village is. They call it a village, but it's in Hua Hin. There was an advert on Facebook, and we took it from there, and they got a Jurassic there, person who runs the office, and we did it direct with them. But we did use some agents, but they're just, they're not, it's not like an agent in your own country, it's not, they want to sell in, these agents are kind of like, they'll call you back and they don't call you back. So yeah, it's just something you're going to have to try and sort out for yourself. Because like I say, in the end, we didn't use an agency. We've seen an advert. Have a look on Facebook. There's some good agents there are some agents on Facebook and some private. Just go on Facebook and type in something like, the groups, house sales or house rentals in Hua Hin. Loads of stuff comes up. David, thank you very much. A big thanks for being such a good sport. All the best for Hua Hin move. Looking forward to the first live stream from there. Thank you, David, for the super chat. That'll get me another couple of these, won't it? God, that's really cold. I don't like it this cold. I like to let it sit for a while and warm up. I mean, I like cold beer, but not that cold. Fitzy, have you heard any updates about these plans to limit alcohol service in bars to limited hours, including no drinking between 2 and 5? Well, I already mentioned between the 2 and 5, they're scrapping that, right? They're basically saying 7-Eleven, restaurants, bars, they can sell it right through. The big change is when the closing hours are, say, 2 o'clock, say in Pattaya, right? 2 a.m. rather. So what would happen is if the police came along and they found people still drinking in that bar, the owner would be fined. Well, that's changing now. What they're going to be doing is fining the customers up to 10,000 baht each. So if you're in a bar and it closes at 2, you know what it's like. You walk around and they're serving alcohol out of paper cups and stuff. And you think, I don't want to go back home yet. I'll have a couple of beers in here. And the police turn up. You got to pay 10,000 baht fine. That's how they're making these bars close. Because if the owner gets fined, the customers don't care, do they? If you go in there and you have a beer and the owner gets snapped by the cops, the boys in brown turn up, and he's going to get fined, you're not bothered. You just go to another bar or you go home, don't you? But if you know for that extra beer, they could turn up and you get a 10,000 baht fine, you're not going to do it, are you? That's exactly what I'm drinking. Leo Supreme. It's in a red can. I'll show it quickly on here. Look. There you go. It's very good. Right. Is it Flu Buddy or Flu Bidey? Have you ever wanted to meet your biological father? Sorry if mistaken, but I recall you mentioned being adopted. I was adopted, and I found my mother when I was. It was quite sad actually because I was 52 when I met her. And when I say it was quite sad, the reason it was quite sad is because she bought her house in Haringey in London in 1972, and I was living in a place called Kettering, which is an hour from Haringey, right, on the train. So all those years I was growing up, she'd been in that house since I was about 11 years old, and I never knew where she was. But I did find her in the end. I met her. She got dementia. That's another thing that worried me. She was 76 when she got it. I never did meet my real father, and my birth mother lied about him. You know, she'd tell me one story, and then she'd tell me another story, and you know, I never did. I would have liked to have met him just to see what he looked like more than anything, but I never will now, of course. Leo, right? I'm struggling with the names tonight because, like Chris said, it normally shows me the names and it showed me the usernames, and some of the usernames are very difficult to pronounce. But Leo right now would go down very nicely. Yeah, well, I know your name is Rennie, Rio Rennie or Rennie Rio, because you're in every week, right? So I remember you, but I can't read what that says. That's your username. I've made a note. After the stream, I'm gonna see if I can change that. Eyes wide open for more. View from your window is stunning. Where are you based? You're having a laugh, aren't you? You're joking, right? It's not me. You must be. I can't see anything from my. Oh. Okay, the green screen, I got you. So that's actually, I thought you were taking the mickey because my balcony faces another building. It's Bangkok, right? So, I mean, I can't afford to live in a penthouse. So I'm living with another building. So, yeah, I get daylight and I can put the washing out there and stuff, and it's good for what it is. But I've got no view virtually, just in the next apartment building. But you're talking about here, right? So that's a green screen. No, that's Benjamin Park. So it's in two halves. You've got you see they've built a kind of an area here. Well, I'm pointing down there, you can't see me. They've built an area that's kind of natural where you can walk through. There's a lot of animals, fish in the water and stuff. And then on the other side, they've got a running track. It's a very good park. I think it's better than Lumpini Park. And it's very close to where I live. I'm going to miss this park because I go there every day. Both Lineman and 7-Eleven do home deliveries. Why even go outside? They won't deliver alcohol, for obvious reasons. It could be kids, 15-year-old boys ordering it. They can't go into a shop and buy it, so they order it online and they deliver it. Another rule here you might find strange, but it makes sense. If you go in all the 7-Elevens, they sell alcohol, right? If you go into a 7-Eleven excuse me, I'm burping now. If you go into a 7-Eleven that's based in a petrol station, a gas station, you see the big 7-Eleven, there's no alcohol. That's the law. If you've got a 7-Eleven in a petrol station, because people would pull up at night, fill up with petrol, grab a couple of cans, and they'd be drinking on the way home. So you can't get alcohol in in one of those places. Damon Peter, yes, a little shop and restaurant. The food sucks. Don't tell the War Office I said that. Okay. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. It doesn't make a huge amount of money, does it? But it keeps her busy. Always good to keep them busy. Skyline Benji. Peter, I wish you all the best. I'll put that up there. I wish you all the best on your new endeavors in life, and your girlfriend looks amazing. I love your videos. I often listen to the repeats. Even thanks for all your shares. So I don't recognize your name there because it's not showing me your name. It's showing me Skyline Benji. So we must have met if you've seen her, right? I wonder who you are. I'm going to have to sort this out. And then we've got, who's that? Mikhail, is it? Place like Tops now have great import alcohols at a pretty fair price too, considering import tax, 7% and VAT. I see them all the time. It's not just Tops. You can get it in Villa. It's not overly expensive. Big C even sells foreign in Hua Hin anyway. They sell foreign. There's a lot of supermarkets sell imported beers, but I'm quite happy with the Thai beers. I like San Miguel because that's low in calories, but the bottle lasts about a minute because it's small. But I drink, they do a Tiger draft here is quite nice. I drink that when I'm out and about. I like draft beer when I'm out. I don't like to drink from bottles. I like to go somewhere where I can get a draft beer. It just tastes different, more smoother, right? But Chang's okay. I'll drink Chang. Oh, I think my aircon's broke down in here, right? I'm going off the subject now. My aircon's broke down in here. It started leaking. I've never had a problem with the one in the lounge, always the one in here, but because it's leaking, I didn't tell the owner because we're only here for a few more days. So what I do is I've got a stand-up fan that I put on the bed, sweeping the end of the bed, and the aircon now is on in the lounge on about number 20, but it's not enough because even though it's been on for an hour and a half, I've got this little fan here, USB fan, and I got it here, and that just keeps me a little bit cool. But I think it's running out of battery now because it just started making funny noises. Robo, hey, Peter, I'm stuck in Samui. It's horrible this time of year. The tourist guide says otherwise. I haven't been there for years. Where are we? I'll put that up there. Yes, you can. There's not many places you can't. Okay, all right. So you've got more information than me. You said, update on the alcohol ban. The Thai government decided last week to allow bars to open until 4 a.m. I did read something about that, but I can't even start till 2, so that doesn't affect me. Robo, hey, Peter, I've just read that. Okay. Yeah, Bintabat has quite a few freelancers. Oh, you don't have to apologize. No, green screen now is so good. It actually looks like you're really there, doesn't it? I mean, I can go from day to night in a second. Look, I'll just a couple of clicks of the old mouse, and all of a sudden, we'll be looking over the Chao Pol River. There we go. Look, nice night scene there. Don't like that? Okay, let's go for another one. Let's go for a rooftop, a nice rooftop. There we go. A rooftop overlooking Sukhumvit. How's that? Nice and I think I normally put that on the member stream. Okay, Mark Cool again, is it? Are there any animal control department for soy feral dog? Almost stepped on dog poop, saw a pack of dogs attacking one dog. Imagine attacked a person, pepper spray, not sold in time. Okay, right, so that's a great question. So what you can get here, and I'm not going to use it because it'll burn the lens of my camera. So what you buy here, it's like a little strobe, okay? They're legal. They're about 350, 400 baht. You can get them online. You just put something like dog scarer, okay? And what it is, if you're walking around soys, because they do, in answer to questions, I don't know. You'd think they would, but I don't think so because there's so many soy dogs, right? But I've just bought one for Hua Hin in case we're walking and soy dogs come. So what it is, it looks like a torch. It's about that size. It fits into the palm of your hand. And when you turn it on, when you press the button, it's got two strobe lights, and it's got a kind of red laser in between the strobe lights. And what you do, you point the laser in between the dog's eyes, so you know you're pointing it the right way. So the dog's down there, you press the button, and this red laser goes in between its eyes, so it doesn't do any harm. And then what you do is the two strobes are so bright and they flash really fast. The dog runs away. It scares the shit out of them. And I got it yesterday and I tried it. I couldn't see for about a minute afterwards. But it's that, or you get bitten, right? I mean, I'm a dog lover. I love animals. I don't want to hurt animals. And you can get whistles and sirens and stuff. But if I've got a dog and I've got him out walking, and some dog's trying to protect his terrier and it goes for my dog's neck, I don't want to be, hitting a siren that scares the shit out of my dog as well, right? So this is perfect. So if a dog comes, I just point the red dot between its eyes, press a button, it's like, and I've seen videos of it. A friend of mine's got one. He said they're really good. No, I don't think so much. Just responding to that comment on stream, that I don't think the Thai girls, no, because one, they're expensive. I've been on the 2.5 mil. I think it's 2.5 milligram for 2 months now, and that's cost me 12,500. Well, I'm going to go up next month to 5 milligrams because I've noticed my appetite coming back. Although I can't eat big meals anymore. Like I say, I used to could eat fish and chips, a roast dinner. I can't now. And even if I have a sandwich, I feel bloated for hours and hours. That's what it does to you. But I am getting a bit of appetite back, so I think I'm going to go up. But it's a lot of money to buy a month's supply, And they've just busted. I just watched on the news today in England, in Northampton. They've just busted a counterfeit company who are making the counterfeit the injection, and they said it on the open market was worth about £250,000. Ricardo, hi Pete. I bet you're going to miss Suda. I've never had a bad meal in 20 years going there. It's a good place. It's a good restaurant. If you don't know Suda, it was in the, the book before the internet was around, the Lonely Planet Guide, and it lists out the best local restaurants and stuff. Well, it's been there for a long time, probably 40 years. It was in the Lonely Planet book. If you go there after 7:45, you won't get a table. It's full of Koreans, Japanese, Western people. It's good, solid Thai food at a good price. A large San-mi-go. It's the only place I've ever seen that sells a large bottle of San-mi-go, 120 baht. Okay, I can get a bottle of Chang in Hua Hin for 65 baht in a restaurant, big one. But off Sukhumvit, 120 baht is very good, and the food is good. I don't think I'm gonna miss it for the simple reason there's so many good, excellent Thai restaurants in Hua Hin, very, very good, and of course they're much cheaper. Where is the picture of the back? It's sitting on one of the hotels. Is somebody sat at a pool at night, and they've just taken a random picture. If you look. See, I'm pointing, but you can't see my finger, right? So if you look, let's do it. It's hard to do it like this. If you look there, that building there's Terminal 21, look. Right there. And I forget the name of that building there, but it's a familiar building, right? And there's the bridge that goes from Terminal 21 to the BTS right there. I think it's a bridge. Is it the bridge? Yeah, no, it's a train track, isn't it? So, if once you see Terminal 21, then you've got Sukhumvit down below, you can get your bearings, right? So it's not far from here. Anders says you can find freelancers everywhere. I saw one in a tiny rural village, hours from the nearest city. Rare find, probably. You got a phone number, right? Stephen was in Thailand right through the summer and was very pleasant and surprised to discover that Thailand now has a craft ale industry producing some very nice IPAs. Welcome change from freezing cold fizz. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot you can't get. I'm not really a real ale person, but there are a lot of people are, isn't there? Oh, okay. Whitaker Winstanley. In Kanchanaburi, I had to get a motorbike taxi just to get to the shops from my hotel. Yeah, you really, I took my own scooter down there. It's a good drive from Bangkok to Kanchanaburi, but I went on my Honda ADV. But when I was down there, and I went. How did I get down there? I drove down there, but what I like to do is park the car up and rent a scooter. I like to go about on a scooter. Okay, Mandama Dirty, is it? What do you think of YouTuber Alpha Amiga? Seems like his Thai wife has got him by the, we know what, and he relied on her for visa and housing. I don't know. I mean, look, we've all got our own personal stories, haven't we? We're all good and bad, and he rants. He does videos where he rants a lot, doesn't he? And I've heard things about his past, but I mean, I wanted to do a video with him just to see how it had come out, and I contacted him, and he wrote back to me, and I said, look, give me a call tomorrow, Dave. His name's Dave, and you know, he never did. I don't know why. But I don't really have an opinion on it, to be honest with you. And if his wife helped him out with the visa and the house and all the rest of it, good luck to him. You know, I mean, I wish I had somebody help me out with it. Okay, in Canterbury, I had to get a motorbike. Oh, I just read that. Dan Snipe, is it? Do a co-stream with one or more guys you know if you ever need content. Cross promotion can boast views. Well, of course, I've done a lot of that during COVID because we're all desperate for content, weren't we? You know, I've done them with Buzz and Patia. I've done them with Trevor from Buzz and Patia. I've done them with Tim Newton from TNT. I've done Peter Title. Well, he's not a YouTuber, is he? Who else have I done? I've done a few YouTubers, but I think those kind of days where YouTubers interview each other, and I think people have had enough of that now. It's all. I mean, that was okay during COVID when everybody had nothing to do and we couldn't get any content. But you know, I've got some ideas for videos, different ideas. It's just whether they'll work or not. But you're right. When you do, that's something that YouTube's introduced. You know, you can upload a video, and if you invite another YouTuber to put that video on his channel, you'll get more views. I'm not going to try and read names out because it's like I say, it's showing me usernames, not real names. We cycled in Thailand, North Country, and I have a 293 baht retractable police baton, works wonders on soy dogs. I never had to hit one, but they see that thing fly open and they change their mind. That's actually true because look, I've mentioned this a few times on my stream. We're talking about the soy dogs, right? You know, some of the Thai security guards, what happens is, wrong one. You know, some of the Thai security guards that are up all night guarding the entrance to hotels and apartment buildings, when these dogs go for them, they've got sticks and they'll whack them across the back, right? So these dogs are intelligent and they know if you're carrying something long and you've got it up like that, they will run away. And I know that for a fact because I was in Jump Team doing some filming and I'd finished at about 1 a.m. I went for a beer. I wasn't driving. I got a BART bus back to Patio. I was in Jump Team. And I was walking past one of the 7-Elevens. There was a pack of 3 dogs there. Right? I was the only one there. And as I walked, I just happened to have my selfie stick in the hand. It had the camera on it, so I was lucky I didn't drop it. But as I was walking, the 3 dogs jumped up and they started barking at me and coming towards me. And I did this. I just pulled that up like that. And I put it like that towards the leader, the one in the front. And they all ran off. So they know from experience that they get whacked, you know, by these nighttime security guards. But I prefer the light, you know, because it's, you know, if a Thai sees me like this with a stick, I don't know how they would react. Oh, can't believe I'm going to be out of Bangkok on Saturday. It's only, what we today, Sunday? It's only 6 days away, isn't it? I'm actually a little bit nervous about it, truth be told. I mean, nothing's going to go wrong. We've got the nice house. It's a nice town. I know it well. Looking forward to it. But also I'm a little bit nervous, but I don't know why I'm nervous. It's weird. David says, I always like the photo backgrounds in your live streams. I'm surprised a lot more people don't do it. I see people who do live streams and they're just, I mean, I've done it occasionally, but they're just in their bedroom or they're in their kitchen and stuff. It looks much nicer, doesn't it, when you have a background like that? And the quality now, because of the lighting and everything, I've learned to do it properly. I don't even have a green haze around me. I mean, I don't know if you remember, if you've been watching me for a long time, but in the old days, when I did a green screen, I had almost like a halo of green around me. But that's because I didn't have the lighting right. And, you know, the distance, a little bit down the arms there, but generally speaking, it's a pretty good picture. Damien, Peter, I like that bike on the walkabout video. I think you should buy another big bike in Hua Hin when you're settled. It's all about money. It's all about money, Damien. It's actually, Hua Hin is a good place to own a bike because the roads are clear. They're not even, you know, jammed like Patti. You know, there's some really good rides in Patti. But the thing is, you know, you're looking at a couple of 100,000 baht, and I'm not a wealthy man. And I'm actually going to buy her a scooter for her birthday. You know, it's like 55,000 for a Honda Click. And, you know, and I've got a Honda ADV and I've got my car as well. And I don't know, like I say, there's a shop down there that sells them secondhand, but the ones he sells are kind of, you know, they're still quite expensive because they're big bikes. It's something I'm thinking about. But the other thing I'm worried about, Damien, is because I had big bikes in the UK. And when you have a big bike, it's impossible to ride it slowly. And that's fine in the UK. You know, you get on on a good dual carriageway, you can open it. I had a Suzuki 1400. Okay, the engine was bigger than some car engines. I remember opening it up, and it was tremendous power on it, tremendous power. And the problem is here, what it's like here. They're right up the wrong way of the road. That no lights at night. They come shooting out of side soys. They don't even look if something's coming. And I'm just a bit worried that if I bought a big bike and I opened it up, I couldn't stop in time. At least on a scooter, when I'm doing 80, 90, 100 kilometers, it feels really fast. But I'm only, in reality, doing 50, 55 miles an hour, so I can stop. That's the only thing, the roads here. Toby says, what were your views like COVID and post-COVID? So during COVID, I used to get about 550, 600 into a stream, but now I get anywhere between 250 and 300 in a normal stream. But I don't just put that down to COVID. I put that, well, it is COVID, a lot of it, because there are a lot more people watching from home. But I put that down to there wasn't as many YouTubers around as there is today. There's hundreds of YouTubers here in Thailand, TikTokers, Facebookers, whatever you call them. And I'm happy, if I get 50 guys coming to live stream, I won't be any different. If there's 40, 50 guys came in, I'd still talk to everybody. Rick, speaking of YouTubers facing hard times, Project Bangkok seems to have hit rock bottom. Very tragic. Yeah, I mean, I met him once in Terminal, and I remember seeing him doing a video with Bangkok Pat, and he looked very normal and everything. I thought, well, this guy's going places. He had about 16,000 subscribers at the time. And I was going to the toilets on the ground floor of Terminal 21, and he was sat there. They've got stations where you can charge your phone. Well, he was sat there, and he had 2 suitcases beside him. And I introduced myself. I said, oh, I've seen your video before. I forgot the name of his channel, but I said, I've seen your video before. I said, I'm Peter from Thailand Bound. I don't know if you heard him. And he was like, oh, yeah. But he was a bit scatty-brained. I couldn't work out what was going on. I was like, oh, where are you going? Are you coming? Are you going? He was like, oh, no, I've been on someone's sofa, and I'm looking for a place tonight. And I was like, it just didn't seem normal, So I don't really know anything about him. I don't watch his videos, but I've heard things now. And what I've heard from other people kind of makes sense from that one meeting I had with. Oh, I actually seen him one more time before then. I didn't speak to him, but I was doing one of my walkabout videos, where I just hold the camera and I walk about. And I was over in Klong Tui. That's how you pronounce it. Tui, not toy. I was in Klong Tui between Ramapur and Sukhumvit, and I was doing the back streets. And he actually came towards me, and he must have recognized me, and I recognized him. And I just kind of went like that, and he waved. And yeah, I don't know nothing else about the guy. David 100, in 6 days you'll be in Hua Hin. I think it's nervous excitement. Yeah, probably a lot of work coming up as well. I'm 66. I don't really want to be unpacking boxes, but you've got to do it, haven't you? Hopefully this will be my last move. My next move will be kind of in a box in the back of a van away from there. Anders, my favorite video has been when you traveled far on your bike. I don't know how those videos do. It's really strange. Yeah. I did one with Steve, American Steve. We went to Kanchanaburi, and I filmed the bridge at night with all the lights on, because in the daytime it's full of tourists. There's all the tourists on the bridge itself. But I went back about 9 o'clock at night, and all the tourists have gone, and it's all lit up with different colors. And I did a road trip with Steve on the motorbike. I thought it was a great video. We started off in Bangkok. I filmed a bit of us riding, and we did stops on the way. I filmed that. I was talking to Steve. We went around the war cemeteries. I filmed on the bridge. All sorts of stuff. I thought it was a good video, and it's only done about 7,000 views. I mean, that's rubbish, really. It's really strange. Thank you, Kurt. Very excited about it. Skyline Benji, I hear Peter hired a scooter in Chiang Mai only 3 weeks ago. It was a 3,000 deposit. What's not like was signing a document stating if scooter is stolen, I pay the full price. Yeah, I wouldn't have rented that, because if they make you, I've never been made to sign that. If they're saying if the scooter's stolen, you have to pay for it, I'd be thinking, because they want to know your address, don't they? The hotel you stay in, room number and everything. I'd be thinking, well, they've got a spare key for it. What they're going to do is come back at 3 a.m, take the bike, give a couple of $100 to the security guard at the front of the hotel, hide the bike and say it's been stolen. You need to pay for it. That's what I would be thinking. And I've never, ever in my life been charged 3,000 baht as a deposit. I once had a woman in Pattaya try to charge me 2,000 baht, and I just said to her, I said, forget it. I said, there's 100 people, more than 100 people rent bikes here. There's no way I'm giving you 2,000 baht. I mean, 1,000 is standard. That's fair enough, right? But I tend to get my when I deal with people, if they're decent people, like they rent scooters and things, and they're good people, I tend to always go back to them, And if they haven't got a scooter, then yeah, sure, I'll go and get one from somewhere else. Sean, rest in peace, Ace, Freshly Kiss, and David Ball, Soft Cell. Oh, really? They've gone, have they? Didn't know that. Tainted Love. Northern Lights. I love this background. I will be soon checking in at Terminal 21. Not really soon, end of January, but I have been there 3 times. Well, you're very, very close. You can get to it from Asok. There's a lot of entrances. Well, I still do them, don't I? Kitchen chats. They probably won't be kitchen chat videos. They'll probably be like a carport chats, something like that, because I've got plenty of room down there. I'd like to start doing a few live streams out of the house, like go to some locations. Like I did one on the beach, like my first year I was here, I did one on my phone on the beach at Jumped In, and I was with somebody. I said, I'm going to do a quick live stream. I probably won't get anybody in, maybe 10 people, 20 people. And I got a couple of 100 people in, and it went for 2 hours, and it was really good, really good. I was sitting on the beach in Jumped In, but why it was good, because I set it up on the table, same as this, and people could see people walking behind me. The people selling, girls walking by, other farag. It just makes it more interesting, doesn't it, when it's more visual? Okay. Mandem Dirty, I can't pronounce the name, sorry. Impressions that you can handle big bikes at 66. My old man had to retire his BMW 1000RR because too much power. I haven't got any problem there, apart from these bloody things popping up on my face, this cancer spot. I could get on a big bike tomorrow and ride it. I haven't got any issues with that. But do you know what? I really enjoy riding my Honda ADV 160. It's a really good scooter. I had a Click 160, and I thought that was fantastic, right? But do you know what? After getting on the Honda ADV 160, the Honda Click was like riding a paper cup. There's no suspension. It's one spring at the back. The ADV's got 2 shock absorbers. It's higher off the ground. It's got disc at the front and the back. It's an 8-litre petrol tank, not a 5. The handlebars are wider and you're up higher, and it feels like you're on a motorbike. I love it to bits. That's why I got the confidence. I mean, I went to Pattaya from Bangkok on that scooter. I went from Bangkok to Kanchanaburi, and I was planning to go to Hua Hin. The only thing that stopped me is because it was a rainy season. I might do it the other way around when I'm down there. I can't see what your name is there, but I'll read your message. I didn't know you would do a live stream today. Got very surprised today. Yeah, most of your live streams are on my work weekends every other week, because this is not my working weekend. So yeah, what it is, I see it times out like that. What it is, this is my last week. This is my last Sunday night in this apartment in Bangkok. You must know from the other comments now, I'm moving down to Hua Hin next Saturday. I wasn't scheduled to do a stream today. I was scheduled to do one next Sunday, but I arrive on the 1st and the scheduled stream is on the 2nd. I'm not going to be able to do it, right, because I've just arrived. Everything will be in boxes. So I thought I'd get a quick one in today, just one casual one like this. And yeah, I mean, it's been quite good. I've been going for, I'm going to give it another 5 minutes, because I've got to go somewhere at 8 o'clock. I've been going for 1 hour 54. It's like, it's now 5 to 8, so I'll give it another 5 minutes, and I'm going to have to call it a day. But yeah, it's been great. Greg over there on Facebook, do they sell a lot of 3-wheel bikes there, the bigger ones for highway use? I've seen some of the smaller 3-wheel bikes, but no, not really. They're not really that popular here. Not from what I've seen anyway, Greg. Damon, talking about green screens, remember Ed's back years ago was a duvet cover. What a lovely guy when we met. Yeah, that was funny. Ed Sweeney, we were good friends at one time, and we fell out because of that idiot, what's his name? Steph Traveller, right? He stirred things up, and Ed kind of believed something he said. He didn't give me the chance to sort of tell him it wasn't true. But, I remember in the early days, Ed had a cover he used to hang on his wall behind him. And honestly, it looked like his bedspread. It looked like it was all spaceships, like a star scene. And it really looked like he just pulled his bedspread off, hung it on the wall. And then we were kind of imagining after his live stream, he takes it down and puts it back on his bed, But they were great days. That's when it was simple, and everyone had a good fun on a live stream. Thank you, Northern Lights. I forget the currency, CSF super sticker, but thank you. Do appreciate it as always. Okay, my favorite, Toby Price says, my favorite vid was with Ed. I sat and watched the full thing. Well, we actually did too, but the one that was the most where we both got very drunk. It was 5 hours long. This was during COVID, and I'd arranged it with Ed. And what was really funny about it, it wasn't planned. I just said, look, Ed, I'll click go live and you'll come in and, that'll be it. We'll do it. But what was really weird was I had a pint of beer and I thought, well, when he comes on, I'm going to cheers him, right? I brought him into the stream, and as soon as I seen him, I went, cheers, Ed. And he had the same idea. He did it. So both of us together went cheers. And then it went on for 5 hours. When I went out to use the bathroom, he'd carry on with it. It was really good. And we got extremely drunk. And I wanted to do another one with him. And he says, I'll do it, but not 5 hours. I was like, well, it wasn't planned, Ed, 5 hours, I remember Trevor from Buzz and Patio. He was in the stream at the beginning, and he must have gone to bed for a few hours because he got up, made a coffee, come back online, and he left a comment. He said, Jesus, are you two guys still at it? But yeah, really good, good fun days. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that, Damon, that impression you did of him. We put it, it was somewhere. I can't remember where it was. Yeah, that's funny. Max says, looking forward to your walkabouts in Hua Hin. I'm looking forward to doing them because I'm actually fed up of the ones in Bangkok. A lot of videos you watch from YouTubers here in Bangkok, they just all film the same thing. Soy 4, Soy Cowboy, Sukhumvit, Asok. It's the same thing, isn't it? Let's get some new backgrounds out. Is it Baton the Road? I just bought the Honda ADV 350. Love it. Yeah, it's a big, powerful machine. But I looked up the difference between the AD 160 and the AD 350, and there isn't much difference in the top speed, actually, believe it or not. But there's a lot more difference in the torque. The pulling away. My friend's got one. If I'd been living in Hua Hin when I bought a bike, I might have bought one. But do you know what? Honest to God, the Honda ADV 160, it's got enough power, it's comfortable, and I'm really happy with it. There's nothing wrong with the AD 350. It's more of a motorbike, isn't it? A lot of people like them, but yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And Andres, I can't pronounce the name. Sorry, never knew you were a petrol head. I'm not really a petrol head, but I've had motorbikes since I was 16. I mean, my first bike was I got it on the Never. I had a job and I used to pay off. I think it was £1.20 a month or a week. I think it was weekly payments. I had a Fizzy. Do you remember the FS1E 50cc? It was a moped but it looked like a motorbike. And then I went up to a Yamaha DT125. That was a scrambler dirt bike. And then I went up to I think it was a Suzuki RD250. That was a nice bike. And then I had a very rare bike. I had a Kawasaki 350 triple pipe. Not a lot of them around. They were all two strokes. And then what was the first big one I had? I'm just trying to remember. Oh, then I had the classic Honda 750 with the 4 pipes that came out in the 70s, but they renewed it every now and again. So I had the Honda 750. That was good fun, that bike. I like that bike a lot. And then I had a pan-European, but I had these dreams I was going to go touring and camping and stuff. That never happened. But then the calipers used to lock up in my garage over winter and I couldn't rock it free. So I got rid of that. And then I had the last one. I had a few more in between, but the last one I had was the Suzuki. I can't remember the letters, but it's 1400cc. It was a beast. It was a beast. Black tank. The one I had was black tank with orange stripe, orange rims, pinstripe round. I used to pull into a garage and, young boys, teenagers and stuff, they'd come over and in awe look at it. Fantastic bike. Very, very nice. I got it secondhand. It only cost me 5k. Should join our scooter group in Hua Hin. Okay, you got a scooter group. Wow. Rick, UCB Media, Kiss One, and Bangkok Pat, best Thailand YouTubers. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. I get people write to me and saying, "You want to give it up, mate? Who wants to watch an old man?" And I'm like, "Well, most of my audience is old men." I do. People actually write to me and say, "Oh, go away, old man. Nobody wants to listen to you." And I'm like, "Well, what about the 74,000 subscribers I got? They listen to me, or some of them anyway." Brian, been a pleasure watching your Bangkok streams. May the future be bright. Thank you very much, Chuck D. Yeah, thank you very much, Brian. I'm gonna have to knock it on the head now, guys. If I didn't, I'll do Damon's last look here. Damon Peter, they got horses, Hua Hin on the beach. I wonder why they don't have them in Pattaya. Probably just local laws. Yeah, and the horses, I know where they put them at night. They put them at the end of Soy 94 in a field. Right, last one. Yes, it's a big bike. Most of the scooter group ride the 160. Very popular bike. Very good on fuel as well. Okay. The music might come out really loud on this because I never got a chance to tone this one down. So have your fingers on the volume, okay? Guys, that's it. The next time I see you, I will be in Hua Hin. It's been 3 years. I've had some really good live streams here. Thank you for your support, all of you. There's always a good core group of people who come into these live streams, which is great. You know, I've come to know who everybody is, almost like friends, although I haven't met people. It's been great, you know. So again, thanks for your support. Thanks for the couple of super chats there. Thanks to the moderators, Chris there at the beginning, and Damien. Frankel popped his head in for a little while there. And yeah, next time I see you, it'll be, I can't give you a date. I don't know when, but it'll be live from Hua Hin. Got my own office down there. Looking forward to it. Until then, have a good what's left of the weekend. And if you come into Thailand soon, it's a good time. The temperature's dropped. You'll have a good time. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you real soon.
Yeah.